Welcome to JavaWalkerWorld. Traditionally, we are a travel channel. We are currently converting a Ford Transit 250 to a camper van so we can bring you even more travel adventures. I am Fern, this is Frank, and this is our sweetheart Molly. Thanks for being with us. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today we are in the middle of, or not in the middle, we're just starting to put together a swivel seat base for our Ford Transit 250. This is a swivel seat base for the passenger side. We think that that's all we need for our setup here in our van. As you can see, we're getting there. So welcome to our channel. We are Fern and Frank with JavaWalkerWorld, and we might as well share with you our adventures and our successes and pitfalls, and as Frank says, and failures here. But hopefully you'll get some good information so that if you're installing a swivel base seat for your passenger side, you can learn from our successes or failures. Thank you for being with us. If you are enjoying our content, please subscribe. We are traditionally a travel channel, so we plan on doing lots of traveling, and I hope you'll join us. If you like this video, give us a like, and please share this information with your friends. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Say hello, Frank.
Hello, everybody.
Let's get going. Hey guys, the first thing you have to do, because of don't want to activate or tamper with the airbag system, we have to disconnect battery. And so that's pulling off the negative battery. What do you call that, hun? Terminal. And so I've taken off. This was here. Pulled this off. It's just these little pegs that are on here. This was on here as well, so I think we can just do it straight from there. This little compartment door, I think, gives us the access that we need to take out one of the terminals so that the battery is considered dead for now. And then this is the other side, the passenger side. We are going to try to pull the seat out. I believe we have to cut this off, which we're going to do, but first things first, let's take care of that. So Frank's taking a ratchet and removing that plate, although I thought he said you didn't need to.
No, it's too hard to get in there.
It's too hard to get in there. So we're taking that plate out. Some people take the whole front seat, driver's side seat out altogether. We're going to see if we can do it without it. We've seen some videos where they've just gone in here through the back and very carefully removed one of the terminals. There we go. This is a good time to clean the dust on this.
Positive and negative.
So that's positive. Face is the front. You see that? I just want to show you guys. It says what side which is negative and which is positive. And we want to disconnect the terminal of the negative side. So it's good. Okay, there you go.
Hold on.
So Frank was having a little bit trouble getting that little nut out, and that's because we needed some pressure, so he had to put his finger underneath to hold some pressure. And remember how that is put together. So he's just going to reassemble this, or try to keep it together so he remembers how it gets put back on.
It's still not right. Huh.
Okay, so we're scrapping that idea of taking that little bit and taking that whole section out of the, sorry about all the hands, taking that whole section out. Instead, we're going to take this out here. I don't know if you can see me pointing right here. And that should disconnect the vehicle from the negative. Well, Well guys, this may end up being a 2-day event because we're getting some stormy weather coming in. So let's hope we can do this, but I don't think so. It's going to take us several hours and I think the rain's going to come in. So if that happens, we'll pick you up tomorrow. Don't worry. You want to share what you're doing?
Yeah, we just disconnected the cable, so the nut is off, and we're gonna pull it out slow. There we go. I'm gonna put the nut back on here so we don't lose it. Make sure that maybe that doesn't touch anything.
Okay, so now we've got our power from our battery dead, and we can work on this side. They have a star type of bracket here. Screw, so we need a special tool for that. We'll see if we can find it in our arsenal. Frank goes looking for his tools. Give you an idea, there he's gone to the shed. Well, he goes and looking for the part or the screw that is star shaped. I'm going to show you what it is that we got from Amazon. So this is the bracket or the swivel seat base that we got. It weighs a ton. It came like this. These things are pretty heavy, so they are heavier than the cardboard. So anyways, let me show you what we've got. What's good is that it has this great big opening, which allows you to get your airbag sensor device through here, which some don't. Nuts and bolts here. So that looks good. Unwrap this very quickly. Okay. It is a heavy beast. So this is what the bracket looks like. And the reason why I chose this one is that it had all these different access holes for you to bolt it down. And they were specifically for different models of vehicles. And so it specifically said, I think it was this one and this one, and this one, I'll double check, were for the Ford Transit 250. So let's see if that is true. Turned it around. This is what the underside looks like. And you can see this is the swivel. You push on this and then it unlocks the seat. Give you a closer look at this. Oh, well, I can't. Oh, and I hope I don't drop it, but that's what it looks like. You see? So let's just go back here while Frank keeps looking for his... We're going to undo this carpeting here. Now, the jack is in here, as you can see. And apparently, in some swivels, the jack being in here is a problem, and it ends up being in the way. We'll see if this model is the same situation. Instead of starting from the back here, we're going to start from the front because there is a clip that I can't reach to get this out. So let's get that from the front. Forward, and sorry about that. These are the clips I was telling you about in order to get this piece of fabric, which is a little cover, out of the way. Let me pull that out. There you go. And I'll do the same here. So this is the airbag system here. You see that there? That's the airbag, and we have to undo this nut and bolt out of there. Actually, bolt is the proper term. And once we do that, we could get that out. And some people as well have to cut a little bit of this plastic here in order for the swivel. But hopefully our model, we don't have to do that. One step at a time. Let's just see here. So Frank's going to try to take the seat out. We found the right tool, we think. Bit in order to remove that. They're nice and tight. While Frank's doing that, I'm just going to remove these clips here. You can see that. I'm going to leave them right here so I know where they belong. There There we go. They just slide right out. Might give them a little bit more room to be able to work on these bolts with the star shape bit. Our drill doesn't seem to want to remove it. I don't know if it's because it's not strong enough. So the ratchet set was much better than the drill. Let's see what you used.
I used a combination of all kinds of things.
Yeah, you have to sort of build your little system there. Frank's moved the seat forward and now he's doing the back. Okay, I need to cut that fabric, so I'm going to use these snips to cut that fabric. Carefully sliding it forward again, but we need to take that fabric out. Be careful that it doesn't rip right out. Alright, so you can see how the fabric is in the way, and I'm going to find a strategic place, and I'm going to cut it right here, and then I'll just put a piece of Velcro that connects the two once I put it back together. Frank's just gone to get another bolt. Apparently we just have to disconnect that, and then I believe pull all of these little clips off so that it's loose. And if we still can't get that through, which we might not, we may have to disconnect what's inside this box and make them two separate parts and then put it back together. It's advisable that you get all these little sets so that you can have different options. Okay, you found it the first time. It's a very, very long bolt that's in there. So we'll keep going. So what do you see here? Oops.
It looks like you can slide it off, but I think this is preventing me here because it's attached.
Okay, what did you do, Frank?
We unloosened the bolt. It was just caught up in a plug there.
There was a little bit of a...
This thing.
What it was a little tie down.
Yeah.
So once you unloosen that tie down,
Then you just
came
and
apart.
then the airbags is disconnected.
There you go. And by doing that, I didn't need to cut that fabric at the bottom, right? Another thing that's complicated about this is that the seat belt is this way here, and so we have to dismantle the seat belt from here.
We're just going to take it out like other people do.
Okay, so we saw somebody who dismantled it, and then when they put it back in, they put it backwards, so they had to put it back in again. Apparently you just lift and leave things the way they are. There we go. So there's everything in place. And this is what it looks like under here. There's our little box. And the other part of this box is under the seat. And hopefully our mechanism will not interfere with this. Jack. Sure. This is a good opportunity to clean. You know, when you have a dog like we do, and she's shedding right now, there is fur everywhere. And we haven't even had this vehicle for very long. But anyways, that looks a little bit better. Get this all cleaned up. Frank's gonna go get the shop vac. There is oil in here, grease. Okay, want you to? There we go. Alright, so let's see if I can get in there. Let's see. So, is that the right side? This is up?
Yeah, because you need a handle up here to loosen it. And this will hit, so that does have to come.
Yeah. So, just doing a little dry fit here. So there's specific spots. So can you take your hand off here? So this bottom half of the swivel needs to attach to this, and then this top half of the swivel needs to attach to the seat. And we're going to go ahead and cut this off because this will interfere with the swivel as well. Let's get going. Studying this, I'm going to just mark it. This is the one that we're using for the Ford Transit. Is that one, and this one here. Just marking it so that we know. And I'll mark it on the bottom as well. That one. That one. This one. And this one. Okay, there we go. Frank's gonna cut this here. All we have is this. We don't have a grinder, so we're gonna use a metal blade jigsaw. So Frank's just gonna file that down a little bit so we don't have any sharp. It's a little sharp. It's a little sharp still. And as always, I'm going to use the original bolts for the bottom because they fit here perfectly. And then we'll use the factory, Swivel factory bolts that they provide for the seat connection, which is going to go there. I'm hoping we don't have to cut any of this down. If we do, what a pain. He's going to paint it right now. We have to turn it in order to get our hands to put the nuts and bolts in there. So I'm going to give Frank quite a struggle to get that to separate like that and swivel. Frank's going to put that in.
It does line up.
It looks like it lines up pretty good. Wish us luck that that's the case, because every other brand...
Well, we ain't finished yet.
We ain't finished yet, but every other brand, boy.
Don't count your chickens.
Yeah.
Seems the swivel seats all seem like they're really hard to twist.
I think it takes time for... This might be where people sometimes have to...
See, like this one's a little tight because the thing isn't... The bolt isn't... That thing isn't very well opened
machined.
up here. Yeah. It needed to come out a little bit more.
I wonder, is it like that? What if you move it a little bit more this way?
No, you can see here from the top. It needed to come out more just like that.
Yeah, so this is where people are saying that they have to machine and open up these holes a little bit. And so what we're seeing is that's the case. So 3 out of the 4 went in. The 4th one is having a hard time getting into the position. So we may have to open that up a bit.
I can force it and it might go, but I don't know.
Do the problem child first and see if we can get this in. It's going. So we're going to tighten all of them down, but of course we're going to loosely tighten all of them and then go back and tighten all of them. Wow, that's pretty good. These other ones we can just hand tighten almost. Oh, the back one again. It's getting a really good tight. Before we put the seat back on to bolt it, we have to bring up the airbag sensor mechanism that's in there.
Holy shit.
So tight. I guess it's going to take a little while to...
I wonder if you...
Oh, do you have it on tight? Oh no, it's okay.
Are you supposed to loosen these a little bit? No.
Yeah, I guess it will work its way.
Unless I put some W40 in there or something.
Or that dry stuff, that other stuff, you know, that
powder.
Yeah. There's like a lubricant that's like a powdery lubricant. Maybe we can add some of this on from plastic to plastic. Okay, so the sensor thing we need to remove. From all of our viewing on YouTube University, what a lot of people, they give you these washers and they give you many washers. And I think in order to avoid cutting the bottom, you sort of build up with washers so that the seat ends up a little bit higher. And you just put one washer on the bottom to do what a washer does, which is hold the screw in place. And then you put multiple so that you don't have to cut the bottom. If it still doesn't work, then we're going to have to slice a little bit of the bottom of the seat. But let's try it. We tested it out there for a second, and we think we need to have this straight. Oh, we have to pull that out. We're gonna end up forgetting to pull that out. So we're gonna leave the box handy right here on top of the jack. Hopefully it won't slip.
I think that's where that bolt goes there. You were talking about your 2 washers?
Well, if you want to raise it, you'd put a couple of washers underneath to raise this thing.
I
but
got one
putting it here is not going to make a difference.
Should I put a washer on the top too?
Yeah, one on the washer, one on the bottom. And then it's a lock nut, right? What's wrong?
These nuts don't thread too well. Maybe I did it backwards. Yeah, they have two ways.
Yeah, they're lock nuts.
So these got to go this way then, that way down.
So these are lock nuts.
They get to the point, then they're
What we're doing here is we're putting 1 washer on the bottom, 2 in between, and 1 on top. And this is all so that I can get this plastic ridge high enough so that it doesn't interfere with anything. Let's hope it works. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So 1 on the bottom. Do you have 2 in the 2 in between? And another one right there. Makes it too high. And that's the position.
The washer here.
1 washer, and then the lock nut, which
Oh,
I don't have.
Here I have it.
Frank has a lock nut. Frank's slid the seat forward so that he has...
Well,
It's not matching? Yeah, it's matching on that one.
yeah, but this one has to be pushed.
Well, there's some leeway, so... And maybe you can push it.
We'll get a bolt. So if there's any other places that it matches it better.
And so we have to do 1 on the bottom, 2 in between, and 1 on top, right? For the washers. There's not a lot of room. Should we twist it? So, 2 in between.
Okay, turn it this way. There you go.
And then that one goes there. And then he'll put the 1 nut on top. Teamwork. And now we have to do the other side. Otherwise we have to dismantle it and raise it up somehow or cut the plastic. Probably most people don't bother doing that. They just cut the plastic and it's done. That was a little bit tough. We had to maneuver the seat back and forth in order to be able to put the washers in, put the nuts in, put it all in position, just sort of doing that sort of thing. Let's tighten it down. Oh, we have to put the airbag thing together. So it looks like we might have clearance here. Let's see how it hits here when you have it fully forward. So it's finding the sweet spot when you're swiveling. And apparently when you swivel these seats, the door has to be open. Frank's looking for tools. There we go. It's coming. So he's got some sort of a wrench system going, which is a tool we got from IKEA at one point, probably. Nice and tight. Now he's pulled the seat back, straightened it. Now at this point, it is rubbing and touching here, but you have to find the sweet spot from, moving the seat forward and back in order to swivel the seat all the way around. So Frank's putting the airbag sensor back together, which we've pulled out there. Did you pull it out? Yeah.
Yeah, I already put it in.
Put it in position, and remember when we pulled it out, it had a very long bolt. Okay, Frank thinks it's done. Let's see if it slides, and it works. The seat belt. Oh, that's why the people take the seatbelt out,
Put
because...
it up. They put it, stretch it like that.
Oh.
Go back a little. That's one.
Although it looks like Frank is struggling to move this seat around, it really is just a technique in getting used to where the sweet spots are and how to... It's just not natural at this stage for him to know exactly how to swivel it. So it's a little bit of playing around with it. It didn't take him long at all.
There you are. You can slide it forward if you want. Further back. Put the arm.
Relax. The king's chair. I think Frank is very satisfied with his work. All in all, it only took us a couple of hours to do this. We were so afraid and so apprehensive. Everybody made it look like it was going to be so difficult to do this. And in reality, it was fairly easy. But that was because we watched so many YouTube channels and on how to install these. And there were different scenarios depending on what type of swivel you bought and what type of vehicle you were putting it in. But it gave us the tools in order to work around and troubleshoot and figure things out. So it's awesome. We love our seat. It works great. You have the red dial. This is what moves the seat forward and back. This is what moves the seat around. And let's see if Frank will give us a demonstration. Seat forward. And then swivel. It is extremely hard to swivel.
They gotta swivel it with not being in the seat.
Really? Okay. It's too much weight on it, right? Oh, there you go.
So you do it when you're not in the seat.
So you do it when you're not in the seat. So Frank, what do you do with that seat belt so that it's out of the way when you swivel?
Keep it in the back.
So move it back. I thought you moved it forward so that it went with you. What a workout.
There we go.
There we go. And it swivels. And then you could just move the seatbelt back out of the way. And that, is it locked into position? What are you doing? Oh, he's trying to move it so that it's straight. There we go. It's a matter
work
of
its way in. I'll put some DW for
yeah,
you.
and it's a matter of training yourself to know that this is what you use to swivel or to move the seat, and this here is what handles the swivel itself to unlock it.
Yeah, we'll put some graphite or something in there.
Graphite, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that graphite.
Graphite, which is like a lubricant for plastic.
Yeah, it's a fine grind.
Yeah. There we go. We are all done.
No, we have to hook the battery back up.
Oh, we have
everything up.
That's right. We're not done.
Not finished yet.
We've got to put the battery back together and put these extra parts. That should go quickly. So overall, I think the installation of the swivel base for this seat here on the Ford Transit 250, this swivel is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Easy to install. I think that took us less than a couple of hours to put together. It is kind of stiff right now, but I think over time with the graphite and so forth, it will smoothen out as we learn the technique on how to swivel it. The holes all lined up. We avoided having to cut all of the plastic around the seat. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased. Yeah, I recommend this one. So the battery situation is back in position. And there is our swivel seat. Pretty sweet. Here's our little table setup. Now that we've got our swivel in place, when I'm cooking, I can use, there's our camp stove that we're using. I could use that as a workstation to prep on, to put things away. Frank can do some computer work, sit down, relax. We can have a meal here because we have a bench here and he's there. And we're good. I think we've got a good setup. Well, thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our video, our little tutorial on how we installed our swivel seat for the Ford Transit 250. It went fairly well. We had a lot of troubleshooting, but because we watched so many tutorials on this on YouTube, we were able to maneuver and think through everything. I hope you enjoyed that. Give us a like, a subscribe would be much appreciated. We are traditionally a travel channel, so please feel free to travel with us via the tube. You know how that goes. See you next time.